All right, let's dive into a topic that affects, well, tens of millions of Americans. The really critical changes coming to Social Security in 2025. Some of these are happening right away, but they also point to a much, much bigger story about the future of the entire program.
So, the big question on everyone's mind, is your Social Security going to be different next year? And the short answer? Yeah, it is. We're talking about some pretty significant shifts, from the end of paper checks to a major new rule on overpayments. So let's get right into what you need to know.
So, here's what we're going to tackle. First, we'll look at the immediate changes that could actually affect your wallet next year. Then, we're going to zoom out to understand this massive financial countdown the whole system is facing. And finally, we'll explore the really tough choices being debated right now to fix it for the long term. Okay, let's kick things off with the really practical stuff, the changes that are going to directly affect your benefit payments starting in 2025. First up, and this is a big one, after September 30th, 2025, the Social Security Administration is officially stopping paper checks. That's it. This whole move is designed to make things more efficient and secure, which means everyone, and I mean everyone, is going to need to be signed up for an electronic payment method, like direct deposit or a prepaid card. So the timing of your payment is now tied directly to your birthday. It's actually pretty simple. If you're born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your payment hits on September 10th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, you'll see it on September 17th, and so on. Now, it's worth noting there are a few exceptions. Like if you've been getting benefits since way back before May 1997, you'll still get paid on the 3rd. Okay, moving on to another really crucial update. There's a much stricter policy now on overpayments. If the SSA accidentally pays you too much, their new way of getting that money back could have a huge impact on your monthly budget. So get this, under the new default rule, the SSA can automatically withhold up to half of your monthly benefit until that debt is paid back. That can be a really shocking drop in your income, which makes it absolutely critical to respond immediately if you ever get an overpayment notice.
Okay, so let's zoom out of it. Because all these little administrative changes, they don't happen in a vacuum. They're part of a much, much bigger story about the long-term financial health of the entire Social Security system. They're happening against the backdrop of a pretty serious financial challenge.
This timeline really shows the critical decade we're facing. Right now, today, the system can pay out 100% of all the promised benefits. But the program's main savings account, its trust fund, is projected to run out of cash right around 2033. Now, hold on, that doesn't mean the checks just stop completely. What it means is that after that point, Social Security can only pay out what it takes in from taxes each year. So what does that shortfall actually look like? Well, if Congress does absolutely nothing, future beneficiaries would face an automatic across-the-board cut. The system would only be able to pay about 78 cents for every dollar they were promised. And that would be a massive reduction for millions of retirees who really depend on that income. So you can imagine, with the fund's future looking shaky, the debate in Washington is really heating up. So let's look at the 3 main paths forward that are being discussed to make sure the program can stay afloat for the long haul. Honestly, this whole incredibly complex debate really boils down to these 3 levers, or, some combination of them. You can increase the money coming in by raising taxes, you can decrease the money going out by adjusting benefits, or you can change the rules by increasing the retirement age. On one side, you've got the raise revenue philosophy. The idea is simple: put more money into the system. To close the gap entirely just with this method, the payroll tax would have to jump from 12.4% to over 16%. Then, on the other side, you have the reduce outlays approach. This one focuses on slowing down how much money goes out, either by tweaking the benefit formula or, as some have suggested, by gradually raising the full retirement age to something like 69. Okay, so after all of that, the big question is, what does this actually mean for you? Whether you're getting benefits right now or planning to in the future, let's break it down. To put all of this in perspective, let's talk about a real number. In 2025, the average monthly benefit for a retired worker is expected to be about $1,976. This right here is the real-world figure that's at the very heart of this entire debate about the future. So, if you walk away with anything from all this, it should be these 3 things. First, take action. Make sure you have an electronic payment method set up before that September 2025 deadline. Second, be aware. Understand that new, stricter overpayment rule. And finally, stay informed. The choices made in Washington over the next few years are going to directly shape the future of your benefits. And that really brings us to the ultimate question for all of us, for policymakers and for the public. With its finances on a course that just isn't sustainable, Social Security is truly at a crossroads. The path that's chosen next will decide what this foundational American program looks like for generations to come.